Late at night, welcome to tonight's story. Before we begin, I want to ask you a question. If one day you realize that the family you've been quietly sacrificing for has never truly acknowledged you, has even denied your contribution, would you keep loving them? Or would you stop? You can leave your answer in the comments. Tonight's story might change the way you think. Her name is Claire Whitmore. She's 29 years old. The turning point of her life began at a gala, an elegant, upper-class evening filled with lights, champagne, and applause. Her father raised his glass in front of everyone and said, "You'll never be as good as your sister." The room laughed because this wasn't the first time. She was the daughter people joked about. And her sister, Audrey, was the one everyone admired. At that moment, Claire stood there. Her heels were already cutting into her feet. She had just finished a 14-hour shift at the port. She didn't cry. She simply said one sentence, then let her pay the bills. "I'm not sending money anymore." The air fell silent for a second. Then her father laughed and said, "What money? We never received a single dollar from you." Pause here for a moment. What do you think makes that sentence truly hurt? It's not the mockery, it's the denial. In psychology, this is called reality erasure. When someone denies your long-term contribution, they're not arguing facts, they're erasing your value, your existence, even your sense of meaning. Claire didn't argue. She just looked at him, and then she walked away. In that moment, she didn't feel hurt, she felt clarity. When she got home, she opened a folder. Its name was simple, Harbor. Inside were records of everything she had done over the years: payroll gaps, property taxes, insurance payments, her sister's legal fees, every emergency transfer. For the first time, she added it all up. $184,612, not loans, not investments. The cost of holding her entire family together alone. She called a friend. He said only one thing: stop one thing tonight. So she made a decision. She didn't retaliate, didn't expose them, didn't argue. She did one thing. She stopped the flow. This is the most important point in the story. Many people think fighting back means confrontation, but real power is withdrawal. When you stop feeding an unbalanced relationship, the truth of that relationship reveals itself. You don't have to destroy it. It collapses on its own. A few days later, at a family dinner, her father demanded an apology. Her mother said, "Families help each other." Her sister stayed quiet, playing the victim. Claire did one thing. She handed them a single page, a summary, dates, amounts, purposes, no emotion, no accusations, just facts. Do you know what's most powerful? Not anger evidence. Anger can be dismissed as emotion. Tears can be labeled weakness. But a clean ledger cannot be explained away. She said, "This is what I'm willing to show you in private before I show the rest in public." The room went silent because for the first time they realized she no longer needed their validation. But the story doesn't end there. The real turning point came at another, bigger event. A more public, more polished stage. Her father once again spoke about integrity. Claire stood up. She said, "Before we talk about integrity, my father needs to correct something." Then she opened the file, line by line. Payroll coverage, property taxes, legal fees, insurance. Each entry was a blade, but her voice calm, unshakable. Here's another psychological truth. The trigger of shame: people don't break when they're wrong. They break when their wrong is seen. In private, denial is easy. In public, collapse is inevitable. Her father finally said, "Please, don't do this." Not an apology. A request for her to stop. Because what he was losing wasn't just money, it was his image. Everything that followed was inevitable. The business ran out of cash. Loans fell through. Employees quit. The house was sold. Her sister lost her media position. It all looked sudden. But in truth, it was simply reality, finally exposed. In the end, Claire left. She started her own company, doing exactly what she used to do for free: auditing, analyzing, fixing broken systems. But this time she worked for herself. She left behind one sentence: "I almost spent my entire life trying to prove I was worthy of love. So tonight, I want to ask you again. If someone only respects you after you stop giving, was it ever love? Would you go back or keep walking? Leave your answer in the comments. I'll be reading. And here's my perspective. Many people will call this story revenge, but I see it as something else. The awakening of boundaries. Growth isn't about making others recognize you. It's about realizing you have value, with or without their recognition. Sometimes love is not about continuing to give. It's about stopping. If you've ever been ignored, drained, or erased in a relationship, remember this: you're not too sensitive. You just see clearly now. Good night. I'll see you in the next story.